So the flip side is the intelligence that takes us to campus isn't the intelligence that's going to take care of us in terms of preparing for marriage. If you're still figuring out who you are, because you must be healthy first to build a healthy relationship. We normally ask ourselves that, can I marry me? Any relationship that is not kept in check by God and man is a preparation for disaster.
And this one is about, is there a difference between being academically prepared for university and emotionally prepared for university?
Yeah. I think part of what you need to understand in terms of pre-decision or planning ahead is because, and this is very important, and do what you call a job shadow. Job shadow means you need to ask yourself that, I want to become a nurse or a pediatrician. What does it entail? Do I know how much I need or how much time I need? The discipline that being a nurse requires of me as a person. So we take them through what we call job shadow. I know one lady who is part of a student who went through a job shadow. She went to join another hospital because she wanted to become a medic. So she volunteered that also to be able to learn, to be able to just see how it happens, pressures around, the safety, all the things that entails being a medic. That is because I want to really be aware of the choice of course I want to do. And I'm sorry because we pay more for a course that is going to take us through probably maybe 30 more years once you get working, then maybe after 60 I retire. But we don't prepare more for a marriage that I'm going to stay in until I die. So the flip side is the intelligence that takes us to campus isn't the intelligence that's going to take care of us in terms of preparing for a marriage. So that's the place we're asking. Is it because we prepare? Yes, because we don't prepare. Why? Because if you don't prepare for it, then you don't need it. I want to repeat. If you don't prepare for it, then you don't need it. So just as we do this, the question comes in, do I learn from people? Do I prepare myself for relationships? And that's why we're doing what we call get it right, make it right. That I don't need to get into it first and prepare. I need to prepare first because foundations are very important. And that's the place of now foundation. So this is a space that I think we need to really urge our young people that as you prepare, seek and search and do all those consultations for the course you want to get into, please give similarly or a higher priority to the man or the woman you want to get married to, because preparation beats repair. So yeah, it's true. We have all those aspects of life whereby we focus more on quote unquote temporal, and we forget that there's what we call the covenant of marriage, which is an institution that you get into. So we don't prepare well as we go to relationships because we look at it as just another added advantage to who we become. So yeah, there's that challenge in terms of our preparation. We haven't given it more weight, and yet it's supposed to be the place of searching ourselves. So I'll say preparation is important, and that comes to place of foundations. So I normally ask young people that even if you start dating, have you asked yourself why? Then number two, is there a couple that you really even admire their marriage and why? Have you been able to ask them about even how they relate, how they started? Because preparation beats repair. I remember when I was dating my wife, and we used to meet in town because we used to have emails. So it's a WhatsApp and a chat as you go. So emails too. So she sent something on email. So she'll read a blog. So the preparation means don't just even come for seminars. Just read a blog. This is a blog that is authentic, that has been validated. So my wife will read a blog and then send on my email the same link. Then when we're meeting in town to have a cup of tea, the first thing is she'll ask me, did you read the blog? So the question is, are we working together? Because we two cannot work together unless they agree. So she'll be, if you didn't read the blog, let's read it first. And I'll be able to discover that the blog that she's sending me is about sexual purity or probably commitment or probably boundaries. And that is how we prepare. So preparation is, are you able to walk the journey together? Because if you're walking in different paths. The thing is, we don't prepare as young people in campus. We find ourselves into wrong stages in terms of places in life, then wrong matatus, quote unquote, wrong people and wrong destination. So I think it goes back to preparation. To search careers, to search peer how to thrive in relationships. Let's not look at dating, courtship, and marriage just as another CV to be added into our other CVs in life. It's not about changing your status, it's about changing your perspective about marriage.
Thank you. You remind me of a quote by Miles Monroe, who says that the marriage is instituted by God. And so when two people come together in that state of marriage under a covenant, and that covenant is greater than any of those two individuals. Yeah. And so That's how big of a commitment marriage is. It's something beyond the two individuals who enter into it, and it has that covering because it's an institution that was authored by God. And so it just underscores how important it is to think through our processes into that covenant of marriage. The journey there, how much we should pay a lot of attention to it, which I think we typically do not. Most times, like you said, we want to outdo our parents in terms of careers. You want to do something big or better than what your parents did, have a better house, live in a better neighborhood, take your children to better schools. But it's true, sadly, we never think about the relationship that actually belies most of those things that we are
Mhm.
thinking about.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. Um, so now I want us to go to one last question, and I know you've touched on it here and there as you answered the previous questions, but just like in one package, can anyone build a healthy relationship if they're still trying to figure out who they are?
No, because you can't build a healthy relationship if you're still figuring about who you are, because you must be healthy first to build a healthy relationship. And I want to say, marriage is not a picnic, so you're not just trying to figure out. It's not a picnic. It's not just searching and finding, but most importantly, is about building. And you cannot build if you don't have the raw materials. So when it comes to choosing or marry, it is so much imperative that you choose someone who is both capable and willing to climb a mountain with you. And that person must be you first. We normally ask ourselves that, can I marry me? How safe is your inside? How clean is your inside? How can I really can you live inside you? And so just one word in terms of that, you cannot find a healthy relationship if you're still living in denial. So work on me first. Declutter everything about me. What are my misconceptions about marriage? Do I still have negative vibes about marriage? Do I have that mindset marriage does not work? Am I still being affected by my past? I know we did a session with a young person in terms of their getting married, so doing a PMCC with them. We went to class and we asked them a question about, we normally do a session called Unmasking the Past. And then ask them that, what is that one thing that you are afraid of as you get this marriage? And this young lady started crying. And then she said, I'm so much afraid that this guy will leave me once we start getting married. Why? Because she said it's because in where she's coming from, the immediate family is the dad left them. So she's still not healthy. She's not still worked on herself, that she's not getting married to his dad or her dad. She's getting married to someone else. So she has not worked on herself. So she has that negative assumption that the same pattern will repeat. And as I said, you must work on me first before you get into a relationship. It's not a picnic, it is a place to build. And you cannot build if the raw material that is me is still not strong. As we talk about in terms of when we say we have what we call broken roots, relationships. You must work on your roots first, work on your beliefs, work on your perspective, on your understanding of marriage, work on your illusions about men or women, work on your negative perception about tribes. If so, be healthy first and then find someone to get married to. That's my final word.
Powerful. Powerful. I don't even want to add anything there. And I'll just go to our closing question. So if you could sit with every student, either before they join university or one who is already in university, and ask them one question about relationships that they must answer honestly, one question, what would that question be?
Wow. The first question I'll ask them, I think the question I'll ask them is, have you made room for God in that relationship? That's my question. Because if you're dating in exclusive, meaning, are you really two things? Like I say, have you made room for God in that relationship? Meaning there's a place of God. God ako na room kwa hiyo relationship, ama niwe peke, the two of you are just me and my girlfriend. Is there a place of God? Because if there's a place of God, then there's going to be a place of what you call fear of God. It's going to determine how you're going to date. So the first question is, have you made room for God in that relationship? Have you edged God out, or God is part of it? Because if he's not part of it, then someone else is part of it. Number two, I'll ask them one question: are you accountable? Because accountability is not supervision. Accountability is what you call being vulnerable. Some of us fear accountability because think it's supervision, but it is being vulnerable, and it protects you. It doesn't protect the person who is taking accountable of you. So are you accountable to? Number one, have you made room for God? There must be God in it, then there must be someone else who is a third eye on you. They'll be able to ask you hard questions, they'll be able to ask you Very, very thorough question. Be able to keep you in check. Any relationship that is not kept in check by God and man is a preparation for disaster. And that is what you call building your marriage relationship on the sandy soil. It will fall with a great fall. Accountability from God and man, very important in a building a healthy and a long-lasting dating relationship.
Thank you, Douglas.
Yeah, I'll say for any young person who is listening to us and maybe are watching this podcast, every time you want to get into a dating relationship that leads to marriage, you should ask yourself this question: is my staying in this relationship built on the same values and belief system, or am I just driven by emotions and the sweat in my hands? I may order in the same menu. That should be a parting shot. Thank you.
Thank you, Douglas. It's been great having you as a guest. Yeah, until next time, we wish everybody to have good relationships. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.